Today, we're going to dive into this incredible story of transformation. It's all about a young girl named Bholi who was pretty much dismissed by everyone around her. We're going to see how she found the strength not just to survive, but to completely rewrite her own story.
And you know, that really is the question at the heart of it all. This isn't just some story. It's a powerful look at how a little bit of dignity, some education, and the kindness of just one person can, well, ignite a revolution inside a single soul.
So, let's meet her. Her given name was actually Sulekha, but you know what? No one even bothered to use it. To her family, to the entire village, she was just Bholi, which literally means simpleton. As the youngest of 7 kids, she wasn't just overlooked, she was basically an afterthought, completely neglected from the day she was born.
Now, to really understand her journey, we have to understand the immense challenges she was up against. I mean, her nickname wasn't just mean. It was a label that was born from a whole series of really unfortunate events that just defined her early years.
Just look at this string of bad luck. At only 10 months old, she falls and damages her brain. Then at 2, smallpox comes along and scars her face for life. And when she finally learns to speak at 5, it's with this awful stammer that only makes people laugh at her. It's like one thing after another just conspired to label her a backward child. And this really shows you the world she was born into. Her brothers, they were seen as an investment, sent off to the city for school, for college. Her sisters were healthy, good-looking, so, they were considered marriageable. But Bholi, in her family's eyes, she had 0 good looks and 0 intelligence. She was at the absolute bottom of the pecking order.
Okay, so let's get to the turning point. Bholi gets a chance at an education, but the reason why is just, it's heartbreaking. This wasn't an act of love or some belief in her potential. Nope. It was an act of pure convenience.
So how did this even happen? Well, a new primary school for girls opens up in the village. A government official, the Tahsildar, comes and tells Bholi's father, Ramlal, that as a village representative, he has to set an example. He has to send his own daughters. And this wasn't some friendly suggestion. It was basically a command he didn't have the guts to refuse.
Now, Ramlal's wife objects. She's worried that educating girls will make them impossible to marry off. But then she offers this cold, calculating solution. Send Bholi. With her ugly face and lack of sense, her marriage prospects were 0 anyway. It's just chilling to think about. School wasn't seen as an opportunity for Bholi. It was a way for her family to offload a problem.
And Bholi is, of course, terrified. She thinks she's being sold off like the family cow. But then, something happens that's never happened before. She gets a bath, her hair is oiled, and she's given a clean dress. I mean, it's a hand-me-down, sure, but it's clean. And for the very first time in her life, that small act of care gives her this tiny glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, this new place might be better than home.
And right here, this is where everything starts to shift. Because at school, Bholi finds something she has never ever experienced before: genuine kindness. And it all comes from one person, her teacher, and it completely changes the entire course of her life.
Her first day is just this storm of emotions. She's mesmerized by the colorful pictures on the classroom wall, but when the teacher asks her name, she just stammers and the other girls laugh. She's crushed by humiliation, and she just sits sobbing in a corner, feeling completely and utterly alone. But then, after the other kids leave, the teacher comes over, and what happens next is really the heart of the story. The teacher speaks to her with a voice that is soft and soothing, a sound that is totally alien to Bholi, who's only ever heard scolding or silence. For the first time, someone speaks to her with real affection, and it just touches her right to the core.
The teacher doesn't rush her, she doesn't get frustrated, she just gently encourages Bholi, saying, "Come on now, the full name?" And with that patient, gentle push, Bholi actually manages to say, Bholi. It feels like this huge achievement. The teacher's reassurance is revolutionary. She tells her that the real problem is the fear in her heart, and without it, she'll speak just like everyone else.
So, this is the key moment. Bholi leaves school a completely different person than the one who walked in. The teacher's kindness, the promise of books and learning, it fills her with an emotion she has never known. Her heart is, for the very first time, just throbbing with hope.
So years go by. Bholi gets an education. She's filled with this new hope. And now all of that self-worth she's built up is about to be put to the ultimate test. The moment of truth is here. Her parents arrange a marriage to this wealthy, older man named Bishambernath. He is far from an ideal match. He's old, he limps, he's a widower with his own grown kids, but her parents are thrilled. Why? Because he's rich, and most importantly, he isn't asking for a dowry.
But that all changes at the wedding ceremony. When they pull back the veil and Bishember sees the pockmarks on Bholi's face for the first time, he stops everything, and he makes a demand, 5,000 rupees, or the wedding is off.
Just imagine this scene. In front of the entire village, this man publicly humiliates her and her family. Her father, Ramlal, is just beside himself. He puts his turban, his honor, at Bishamber's feet, begging him, pleading with him not to disgrace the family. But Bishambra, he doesn't budge.
Just as her father gives in and places the money at the groom's feet, something incredible happens. Bholi speaks, and her voice, it doesn't stammer. It's clear, it's steady. She says, "Pitaji, take back your money. I am not going to marry this man." And in that one sentence, the timid girl everyone knew just vanished forever. All right, let's get to the powerful conclusion. Because this act of defiance, it isn't just an ending. Oh no, it's the beginning of a brand new life for the person who was once called Bholi.
And what's so amazing here is that right after she refuses the marriage, the narrator starts calling her Sulekha again. She is no longer Bholi the simpleton. By standing up for her own dignity, she reclaims her true name, her true self.
When her heartbroken father asks what on earth is going to happen to her now that no one will marry her, Sulekha's answer is just so calm and steady. She completely redefines her own future. She says she won't be some burden to be married off. Instead, she's going to be a provider. She will care for her parents in their old age, and she will teach in the very same school that gave her a new life.
And this final image, it just says it all. Her teacher, who's been watching from a corner, just smiles. And it's described as the deep satisfaction of an artist looking at their finished masterpiece. The timid, stammering girl she first met has been shaped by education and compassion into this confident, self-reliant woman.
And that leaves us with a pretty big question to think about, doesn't it? Bholi's story shows the incredible impact one person can have. It makes you wonder, who was the teacher, or the mentor, or just the kind voice in your own life that helped you find the courage to finally speak up?